What's the right value bet size in poker? Imagine you're sitting at the table, holding a strong hand, and you want to get the most chips from your opponent. How much should you bet to do that? That's what we call choosing the right value bet size. It's a key part of post-flop play and core strategy in poker. The goal is to bet enough to make weaker hands call, but not so much that you scare them away. The best size depends on many factors, like the texture of the board, how deep your stacks are, and what kind of player you're up against. When the board is dry and static, with few draws or coordinated cards, smaller bets around 25 to 35% of the pot work well. They tempt weaker hands to call without risking too much. On the other hand, if the board is wet and full of potential draws or connected cards, larger bets between 55 and 80% of the pot are better. Bigger bets help protect your hand and charge opponents who might be chasing a draw. Your stack-to-pot ratio also matters. If you have deep stacks relative to the pot, larger bets can build the pot for later streets. But if your stacks are shallow, smaller bets are safer because there's less room for the pot to grow. When you hold the nuts or near nuts, overbetting, betting more than the current size of the pot, can be very profitable. It maximizes value and discourages opponents from calling with weaker hands. If your hand is weaker, sticking to pot-sized bets or smaller helps keep weaker hands in the game. Think about your opponent's tendencies. If they call often with weak hands, larger bets can extract more chips. If they are tight and only call with strong hands, smaller bets might keep them in without scaring them away. The street also influences your sizing. On the flop, a typical value bet is around 50 to 60% of the pot. On the turn, especially if you're double-barreling, bets tend to be larger, often over 66% of the pot, to build the pot and protect your hand. When you're in a 3-bet pot, smaller continuation bets around 25 to 40% are common because ranges are wider and the game is more dynamic. Many players like to keep things simple by using a few standard sizes. For example, betting around 33% of the pot on dry boards and around 66% on wet boards. This makes decisions easier and speeds up play without sacrificing much expected value. Advanced players sometimes use geometric bet sizing, which involves sizing bets so that the pot grows by the same amount each street. This approach can help when ranges are polarized, but it's more complex to calculate during a game. The key is to mix your bet sizes to avoid becoming predictable. Sometimes you bet smaller to get weaker hands to call, and other times you go bigger to charge draws or maximize value from strong hands. To sum it up, use small bets on dry boards to get calls from weaker hands, and larger bets on wet boards or against loose opponents to protect and extract value. When you have the nuts, consider overbetting to maximize chips. Adjust your sizes based on stack depth, opponent tendencies, and position. Having a few standard sizes ready makes your play more consistent, but always be ready to adapt to the situation. This way, your value betting becomes a powerful tool in your poker arsenal, helping you win more chips in the long run.